Yo, what's good? MikeO, let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button. It takes nothing to hit the button. Look out for your man. So, this is probably going to be my last post about Garcia and Haney. I'm going to start focusing on Canelo and Munguia coming up on Cinco de Mayo. But it's just one thing that I kind of wanted to focus on, or two things actually. So after Devin Haney took this L, after he got the brakes beat off of him, you want to ask who's next for Devin Haney, and I feel like personally, 140 is going to be a rough division for him, and I'm going to say this like I said before. If you're fighting at 135, but walking around at 165, 168, and you're getting hands put on you by fighters at 135, what's going to happen when you move? What did he think was going to happen when he moved to 140? You got more stronger, bigger fighters, putting himself in a less position where he's going to be the bigger fighter, because I do think he's a bully boxer. Because I think he has the ability to lose weight, maintain weight. He would have been a great wrestler. And then he just swells back up to his original 165 plus pounds, which he's always the bigger fighter. So going into 140, after you let Ryan Garcia, who in my opinion is not a very skilled boxer, if you let him pummel you the way he did, what is going to be next for you at 140? When you take a look, he's a top fighter, so I'm assuming that he's going to eventually want to fight top fighters in the 140 division. When you think of fighters like Teofimo Lopez, I just can't see Haney not getting his jaw tapped again by a fighter of this magnitude. You beat Prograis. Matias is a knockout artist. I think his hands would be full. You got like a Josh Taylor. There's some lower level fighters here that I think that he would have a good chance at. Jermaine Ortiz would be a good fight for him, maybe. At least it'll be a good competitive fight. But I worry about Devin Haney at the 140 division. I don't think that he has the power. I don't think he has the chin to maintain in his weight class, and definitely not moving up. It only gets worse for him if he moves up. So 140, he's going to have to stay in 140 unless he can somehow go back down to 135. But, we don't see that happening at all. I think that, Devin Haney's career is in major jeopardy right now, and you could say even a rematch. You can even say a rematch with Ryan Garcia, which would be great. But Garcia, he already had trouble making 140, so he's not going to want to have that fight at 140. I'm assuming he's going to have it at 145, 147. In that welterweight division. But then you turn and ask yourself, what's next for Ryan Garcia? Now, the beauty about Ryan Garcia is he was already a huge YouTube star. The Tank Davis fight was a huge fight for him. He has popularity. Now, I don't know how this is going to all shape out with now that he has this weird, QAnon conspiracy theory mentality. But I don't think that that's changing. I think people still enjoyed to watch him fight, and he is a popular fighter that's helping boxing. If I'm being totally honest, he's becoming a household name if he isn't one already. So again, he's not going to want to fight at 140. He's eyeing the welterweight division. Now, who can he fight? I mean, there's a lot of, like I said, sky's the limit for him as a fighter. He can pick and choose whoever he wants to fight, and I think it would be a big fight for him. Now, I do think again, I think that if he steps up into some high level competition at welterweight, he's going to get exposed. Like he's not beating Terrence Crawford. He had a shot against Earl Spence. Boots, can he beat Boots? I don't think so. He had a shot at Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, I mean, when you look at him, when you start looking at the top names in the welterweight division, I think it starts getting a little rough for him because, like I said, I don't think that Garcia is that skilled of a fighter, and I don't see, those top names that I just listed falling for that same left hook all night. That's all he had was a left hook, and he used it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if he has this approach with other fighters, I just can't see, him moving forward at 147. I think it'll only get more challenging for Ryan Garcia when you start facing, more skilled fighters with power. Because if Devin Haney had any power, he would have been all right. And the last thing I want to talk about is Ryan Garcia's Philly shell. I absolutely hate it. It's nowhere near anything that Mayweather has ever done or even tried to do defensively. And what I didn't like about it is that he would approach he wouldn't use the Philly shell when it was time to be defensive. He was anticipating Devin Haney to be defensive, and he would just kind of go into a poor man's Philly shell to where he's pretty much turning his back to the opponent, which to me, it almost seems illegal, and I'm not sure that I would want to. If I was a ref, I don't know if I would allow that. If you fight and you just turn your back to somebody, you can't do that. And another thing is he left his rib cage wide open, and you could see that there was times where Devin Haney was just pounding. He was catching him in the rib cage, but Devin Haney don't got no power. He did no damage to that man's rib cage, and what I'm saying, he's the bigger fighter. Because if Tank Davis had that opportunity, for one, Tank already knocked him down with a body shot. So if he were to have that, if he would have did that Philly shell against Tank Davis, he maybe would have broke a rib. You're just giving me free shots to your rib cage. I just don't like it. I really question Garcia's trainer to why he would, allow that to happen. There's no way. It doesn't even look like they're working on the Philly shell. It just looks like it's just something that he wanted to do, and I don't get why Derek James would allow him to choose that defensive fighting style. Like, I don't see how that works. It didn't work, it didn't work against the last man he fought, not Matias, it was Duarte. Didn't work for him either. He won the fight, but that Philly shell did not work for him either. So it's something that he really needs to X out. I think he's too old at this point to be working on that. Stick to your strengths, work your jab, work the left hook, move around, but no Philly shell. But let me know what you guys think. Who do you think Garcia should fight next? Who do you think Devin Haney should fight? Or what's next for both of these fighters? And also, what do you think about the Philly shell defense? Do you like it? Do you want to see it move forward? Let me know. Please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and until next time, I'm out.